Hello, everyone. Welcome to the TennEssexee podcast. I think, this is number 7. So we had TennEssexee last week, which of course makes this one TennEssexee, which is a real catchy name, you know what I mean? Of course, it's named TennEssexee because I'm from Essex, I live in Tennessee. And it subtly implies that I'm sexy, which you cannot prove wrong unless you go follow me on Instagram and you look at me and you're like, man, his nose is a bit crooked, innit? That is not the way that a nose should face. That is not in equilibrium with the universe, my good man. So my weekend has been all over the place, right? Because I went to the dentist on Thursday. I've had a broken tooth for about 4 years, right? But it's not been hurting or anything. So I was like, why the fuck would I go get that fixed? You know what I mean? If it's broke but not too broke, don't fix it, I believe is the saying. You know? No, I've needed to have it pulled out for a while. Like, it got infected. So I'm like, hey, Mr. Dentist man, can you yank this tooth out my face, please? And since then, like, they gave me some painkillers, and I've been all over the place, right? I've only had, like, painkillers once before. It was when I had surgery on my knee, so I got Oxycontin, right? And I'm telling you, this is the most magical shit I've ever had in my life, because I'm not exactly, like, a drugs person, you know? Like, I grew up drinking quite a lot, but other than that, I never really went near anything else. And then I had Oxycontin for the pain in my leg. Not for recreational purposes. So I'd have to take 2 of these before I went to bed. And there's just this lovely, beautiful, warm sensation comes over you. Like the world is giving you a hug. And I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. Oh, okay, this is why people take drugs, you know? Because I'd only ever seen, like, the scare tactics. Like, if you do drugs, you're going to fuck your life up. And then you see the pictures of people that have, like, lost their homes. They're doing really rough. Everything's horrific. They've lost their lives. And I was of the attitude of what I'd been told. Of, like, oh, those silly sausages. Why would they do something that hurts them so much? You know that attitude people have that's just like, it's so smug. Like, well, obviously, you've never tried heroin, you know? Otherwise, you'd know. But that's what I mean. Like, I took it, and I come over so warm, and I was like, oh, this is why people take drugs. It makes so much sense now. Because, Oxycontin it's an opiate, so basically, it's synthetic heroin. And I could tell why people were into it. I was like, man, this is nice. And I remember around that time, I started watching Futurama for the first time. So whenever I hear the intro music to Futurama, I still get like callbacks in my body, brain, nerve system. I don't know what that's called. Anyways, whenever the Futurama theme music comes on, I still get this warm, fuzzy feeling as if I've just taken my Oxycontin for the first time. So no, man. They gave me a shit ton of that Oxy as well. Like, I needed, like, I think a quarter of the pills they gave me. And I took one once because I was like, oh, that warm feeling's pretty nice. You know, I wasn't in pain. I just wanted to feel that thing. And I was like, hold on. I need to throw these things away. This is how lives get ruined. So that was a close call. It's a shame I cannot put the cookies down. Cookies are my heroin, you see. I went to see my dealer the other day, Walmart. I was like, yo, Walmart, I need an 1/8 of those Chips Ahoy's. Don't let no one see. Walked out of there with a brown bag that I stashed in my mouth. Like, don't let no one see. Oh, I'm smuggling these cookies. Oh, there's white chocolate chips and brown chocolate chips. Yeah, so they gave me, after this, I'm going to pretend the surgery was a lot more severe than it was. They just used pliers and yanked it out my face. The tooth, of course. I've got the dogs in here with me again, by the way. So if you hear some chomping or growling, that is them. That is not me. All right? Because I know Theo's playing with the toy right now. Yeah, so they gave me some lure tabs. Are they lure tabs or lure tabs? I thought they were lure tabs because it lures you into a pain-free existence. No, I had lure tabs. And they knock me the fuck out, right? When I had the Oxycontin before, it just made me so warm and happy and fuzzy, you know? But these ones, they knock me out and I feel like all groggy and weird. And I had some really trippy dreams. It was weird. Like I woke up still groggy and I was texting, trying to explain I had a dream. Not like Martin Luther King, like it wasn't that good of a dream. You know, he had a really good dream, you know, like the end of racism. My dream was like I had the Champions League final was held at Gloucester Park in Basildon, where I grew up playing soccer. And then when Ronaldo and everyone came off from the final, they knew me. They were like, hey, it's you. And then for some reason, I had a desk in the locker room with a special drawer with all these inconsequential things from growing up, right? Like none of it was important. And I was like, what is this? Is this a sign that I've got baggage that I should have let go of, but I'm still holding it in a special drawer in a place miles and miles away? I don't know. I don't know what life was trying to teach me, or maybe I just needed to drink some water. But yeah, so it's made me all groggy and weird, you know? And then it's all like stormy and wet outside. It's been cabin fever with drugs, but not good drugs, you know? It's not like I got to take like LSD, you know? It's not like I got to develop some sort of Beatles sixth sense of what is art, what is life, man. You know, there's no Yellow Submarine. I wrote some stuff bitching about the dentist. Oh, man. But yeah, it was traumatic at the dentist, you know? I've never been nervous before, but this one, I actually was a little bit, right? Because like they're yanking something out my face. All I've done before is have like a cleaning, you know? They give you that little interrogation thing. You know, you're leant back in your chair. Like you don't know if they're going to gas you or waterboard you whilst they're shining a light in your eyes. You know, have you been cleaning these teeth? How many times do you change your toothbrush? What toothpaste do you use? Where were you on May the 13th? So, Jesus Christ. Where did you learn dentistry? Like Guantanamo? Is that where you were at? Now, before we let you have any dental patients, I want you to interrogate these terrorists in this inescapable prison, which should have been shut down a long, long time ago. No, he's leaning your back, and he's got like 19 tools on the side. Like everyone looks sharper and more spinny and more dangerous. Like each one gets a bit more medieval, you know? And then he's like asking you questions and he shoves his hand in your mouth. It's like, what the? Okay. So have you had a nice week? Like, has no one invented like a longer tool? Why have you got 19 tools, but none of them come with like a few inches of an extender on it so you don't have to shove your whole hand in my mouth to reach it in there? Plus, if your hand's in my mouth, how can you see what you're doing? You're just guessing. You're all frauds. You're a bunch of interrogating evil bastards. All right. The most painful thing about it was when he put the was it anesthetic? That's not the right word. The thing that makes your mouth numb. I can't remember what that's called. Either way, like, he's got it in a needle. Didn't warn me. I thought he was just looking in my mouth, you know, to check he had the right tooth that he was aiming at. But no, I mean, he just starts going in, stabbing me in the jaw. And I'm like, ow, what the fuck? He goes, oh, I'm just numbing it. It's like, well, dickhead, that would have been great information a minute ago, so I could have prepared for this initial attack. So yeah, he keeps like stabbing a thing in there, and then my mouth starts going numb, which you're not really prepared for. And then it's not just pulling one tooth out. Ow. I did say that weird. That did come out weird. Right, it's not like pulling one tooth out, because my tooth was broken into like 4 or 5 different pieces. I must have got punched at some point that I didn't know about, I'm guessing. How else do you break a tooth? Especially there. It's like the one before my wisdom tooth. So, yeah, he's trying to pull these things out, and the lady's like, oh, you might feel some pushing and pulling, right? And then he yanks something on my cheek. And I'm like, ow! And he's like, oh, did that hurt? I was like, well, fucking obviously it did, doctor. You know? Don't make me stand up, shine a light in your eyes. It's like, oh, what was you doing? What was you doing with my cheek, doctor? Where was you doing with that? Why weren't you aiming my tooth? So yeah, he keeps pulling bits out. I didn't even get to see the teeth that he pulled out. I didn't get to say goodbye. Heartbroken I was. Absolutely devastated, mate. But no, so he's pulling the bits and pieces out, and then he sews it back together. You know, as a good doctor does. And he's like, I'm still a bit out of it, because I'm not quite sure what's going on. Oh yeah, and then he had to use some one of those spinny medieval tools, right? He's like, I can't get this one out. I can't seem to get it locked in. So he without warning, not like, listen, this is going to sound like a lawnmower that is going in your face, but I assure you, it is a very delicate, precision tool. Gets this tool, no warning. I'm guessing he's just got a different pair of pliers, dentist pliers, you know, let's use the medical terms. And all I hear is just like, and then I smell burning. Now, if you cannot feel anything, and you didn't realize this tool was coming, you don't know to expect the noise, the fucking burning smell now coming out of my face. It is a bit unnerving. Not gonna lie, I started to like tremble a little bit. I was really scared, right? And then when he's finished with his little like fucking machine, he looks at like the dental assistant and goes, oh, this one's turning a bit pale, isn't he? It's like, motherfucker, are you taunting me? I get no warning that you're about to like break out the old Black & Decker on my face. No warning that you might smell some burning, but it's okay. It's completely normal. And then you bastard, you're gonna taunt me? You son of a bitch. Fucking taunted me. Like, yeah, I'm trembling. I'm going white. I don't know what you're doing. If you're doing anything, like if you were a lady and you have a toy, right, that's battery powered, and you start using it, and all of a sudden, instead of the usual rumble, you just hear like, and then you smell burning coming from your vagina, that you're going to be worried, right? It's like, well, it didn't say this on the instructions. I've never seen this in a porno, you know? Never been watching it. And then the girl is just like, what's that burning smell? No, there never seems to be any burning. Maybe if my mouth was really dry. But it weren't. I could have promised you. I was like drooling everywhere. Yeah, and the dental assistant didn't help with that. I'm just sitting there like drooling on myself, my mouth like locked open, because old dickhead McGee can buy a drill to put in my face, but he can't buy any extendo tools before taunting me. So yeah. So yeah, I had to like bite down on like gauze for a while, and my face didn't hurt, because of all the numbing things. And I was like, oh, I can go to work. I'll be fine. Which I was. I learned to talk just like with my mouth closed kind of thing. Like, I was like, oh, man, it is not that hard to be a ventriloquist. I'm standing there just like, hey, guys, how's it going? No, good. I just been to the dentist, so I can't really open my mouth. Because who wouldn't want to hear a ventriloquist dummy talking in that voice? Sounds like a kind of a mangled English American accent where you have somehow stubbed your tongue. Oh yeah, right? And I was talking either last week or the week before about things that things you thought you knew, but it turns out you didn't, right? Because I was talking about where I learned the proper way to scramble eggs, the proper way to tie a shoelace so that it goes nicely across instead of longwards, and also properly how to peel a banana. And there's another thing that I realized a few months ago, right? And it was one of those weird things you learn as a kid, and it seems wrong, but, I was an impressionable 5-year-old, and my teacher said it with such confidence, and I was like, well, obviously they're not wrong. But maybe they was, right? So here's what it was. They said the moon doesn't change in size. When you look in the sky, it may appear bigger, but it's not actually bigger at all, right? Now, what they meant was the actual planet, the moon. Sorry, it's not a planet, is it? The actual, you know what I mean. That giant fucking rock in the sky that sometimes is a bit of a sliver and sometimes is a full moon, so werewolves come and stuff, right? That thing. It doesn't actually change its size. The moon remains constant. And I thought that meant when you look into the night sky, the moon doesn't take up more of the sky. It always takes up the exact same amount of the sky. It just appears it's taken up more. I don't know if that makes any sense or not. So, yeah, I thought they meant that when you look at the sky, it's, say, the moon takes 1% of the sky. It always takes 1% of the sky, regardless of if it seems like it's bigger or not. But it turns out I was a confused child and then took that into my adulthood, right? Because, no, the moon sometimes is closer, so it takes up, like, say, 4% of the sky that you see, but the actual moon itself is the same size, it's just a bit closer. And it blew my fucking mind, if I'm honest with you. Because I was like, because it seems, what she meant, oh my God. Like, I felt so proud, but also embarrassed as I tried to explain what I thought was meant by the moon doesn't change in size. It's like my teacher said one thing and I went like 4 levels along and was like, well, actually, the proportion of the night sky that you see, like fucking hell. Stupid little 5-year-old me, what a moron. Yeah, if you've got anything like that, by the way, that you thought you knew that turned out was wrong because of something you learned as a kid, like, let me know, right? Because I think that's super interesting. Because I've had other things like it. I can't remember what it was. God, I wish I could remember now. But it's stuff that like you learn when you're a kid and you just take it as gospel. You take it as this is the thing, this is truth, this is real life. Or you make up your own conclusion about, oh, this means this. But then for some reason, like maybe you don't revisit that again for another 15 years until you're a grown-up. But you're still working off the conclusion that you had as like an 8-year-old. I don't know if that makes any sense, but if it does, let me know at simothecimber@gmail.com or Instagram, simothecimber, or Facebook, simothecimber, or the 3 of you that listen to this whole thing. Just let me know next time I see you. But not my sister, because she still hasn't listened to this shit. I'm wondering how many tirades I can hurl her way. And then she's going to listen one day. She's like, no. I just wanted to wait until you had enough and I was going to binge it. And it turns out I am just attacking her week after week after week. But to be fair, she is probably the reason I was an idiot child. I watched a couple of really good documentaries this week on Netflix because I am a documentary nerd, right? I watched two of them. I watched Ruby Ridge and I think it's called The Race to Zero, right? Ruby Ridge is nuts. And then The Race to Zero is just corporate petulance. They're both really cool, right? So Ruby Ridge is about, there's this family of, I think they were called like white separatists, but that doesn't mean anything racial. They just didn't really want to be around anyone, right? They're basically separatists who were also white. They lived in, Wyoming or something? And then they moved away to like a mountaintop in one of the big empty states in the West. Was it Idaho? Not Idaho. Jesus. I am ruining this already. The location wasn't important. It was some very, very sparse place on the top of a mountain. So they're like no electricity. They hunted for their own food. They made their own clothes and so forth. Like they built their own shack up there. So it's the mum, the dad, and like 2 or 3 kids. But, oh God, what was it? A few miles away, there was like a white nationalist settlement, like basically like neo-Nazis that were also living away in the woods. And they started to, like they went to like cookouts and stuff with them. They weren't into the Nazism, but they obviously did enjoy the white paradise that it was. They like, oh, yeah. Well, I don't like racism, but I also don't like hip hop. So look at my sandals and socks. I fit right in here. Wow, are they cargo shorts? I just love white culture. But no, they started hanging around with these people, right? And there was something about the FBI started watching them because the main guy, like the dad of the group, the one with the best cargo shorts and the highest socks with his flip-flops, right? He sold like an unlicensed gun to one of these Nazi people, right? So the FBI were like, hey, none of that, son. It was one of those like surveillance type things. So he was supposed to go to court over it. And he was like, nah, fuck you. I just want to be left alone. Like, that's why I live on the top of some shit mountain in fucking Idaho. You can't even grow potatoes up here, son. You know? They're separatists. They just want to be left alone. They don't want government. They don't want anything like this involved, right? So he misses his court date. So then the FBI start not stalking him, but stalking him with guns, right? So they're watching everything, like from a distance. They send some of their people up there to go check out the property, like how many people live here, what weapons do they have, what are they doing, yada yada yada. But one of them like steps on like a twig or something, and the family dog hears it and starts barking. So they try to retreat him, and then the dog goes nuts and starts chasing him, right? Not like my dogs, who would just kind of roll over. I'm like, oh, are you here to rub my belly? Have you got treats? You know? But no, this dog actually cares about protecting the family. So the dog runs off, chasing him. Like one of the kids or the cousin, or so, it all seemed a bit incestual in that house. You know, there wasn't enough space for shenanigans. They weren't meeting any other kids. Like, these kids are teenagers. They've got urges. And if the only female you've ever seen is, you know... I'm not going there. No, so the kid chases down, and one of the cousins or the uncles or something chases also. And basically, I think, like, the dog dies, one of the people died, like an FBI person died, and did the kid die? Someone got shot from this separatist family, right? And then it's like, oh dear, we appear to have fucked up here. This was just supposed to be some sort of nice little recon mission, you know? It's like, what are you guys up to, you know? How many guns you got in there? That turned into, you know, shooting someone in the face, which is not ideal, let's be honest. So now it's all fucked up. The dad's like pissed off about it, and now it's some government versus these lot kind of war, and they're trying to separate themselves from the white nationalists, but the white nationalists are also quite friendly to them because they also hate the government with their damn rules about not being racist and stuff. Dude, one of the funniest parts is because this is from like what, the 80s or the 90s, the archive footage. There's this like white skinhead Nazi yelling at the cops because they've got a blockade from going up there. He's like, "You're a disgrace to the white race," which rhymed, even though he doesn't like hip hop, which I thought was quite ironic. Right? And this cop has like, he looked like a super trooper, right? He's got one of those giant moustaches with like low sunglasses. And he turns around and looks at him, but looks like over his shoulder a little bit. Dude, it was like such a tense part of it as well. You know, it's like it's a standoff, there's a dead child, they've got like snipers aimed at the husband and the wife up in the building. There's like a race war brewing. And then this cop does that look like... This cop goes, look, I go, excuse me, what did you... A disgrace to the white race. Do you see these cargo shorts? And then, like, the husband comes out at some point for some reason. I can't remember how it leads up to it, but basically, the FBI accidentally, you know, completely accidentally, shoot the wife in the face. Now, you could argue the merits, you know, maybe they were just firing a warning shot and she stuck her face in the way, you know. Maybe she thought it was like dodgeball rules, where if you get hit in the face, it doesn't count, you know. So someone shot, you know, at her arm and she stuck her face in the way, like, oh no, you shot in the face, it doesn't count, you know, so we don't lose a person. But actually, bullets to the face do generally lead to things such as death, you know. So they shot her in the face. They drag her inside the house while she's like bleeding out and dying and stuff, right? Now, the FBI did not know that they just shot this woman in the face and killed her. So when they brought a negotiator in, their idea was, nah, the kids are too freaked out. The husband's not responding to anything. We've killed the uncle. Let's talk to the wife. You know, so they get like a bullhorn or something. It's a bullhorn, or they took like a telephone up to the house. I think they had both, actually. Right? And what they keep doing is they keep addressing the wife, right? She was called Vicky. So it's like, Vicky, why don't you lot come and surrender? No one has to get shot and hurt, Vicky. No one needs to die, Vicky. Vicky. Oh, Vicky. And dude, she's dead. She's literally laying on the floor, rotting. And the whole family, they think they're fucking taunting them. Because that is fucked up, man. Like, if they'd have known, I'm guessing they wouldn't have done it. Although that is pretty good psychological warfare. You know, but they had no idea that they'd already killed her. And she's laying there like brains all over the floor. And all the kids are hearing is, Vicky, why don't you come out, Vicky? It's like, oh my God, it is so fucked up. Like, I can't even... I understand now where the white women get it from, you know, because at that point I was unable to even... I thought it was such a mess, you know? But I think that's fair, you know? It wasn't like you find out two people are dating, it's like, oh my God, I can't even... No, it was like they shot her in the face and then they're calling her name to the rest of the family. Like, I cannot even... But yeah, so like the next day, or the next couple of days, the guy, he surrenders, right? And they end up getting awarded like millions of dollars, you know, because of the whole, you know, FBI shooting his wife thing. But no, dude, it's insanely good. Like, it's just, oh my God, it's nuts. It really isn't. Like, it builds the tension well. And right when you think the tension is getting a bit too much, that cop with a moustache pulls that face and makes the whole thing really bearable. You know, without that cop, really, he saved the day, because without it, you'd be like, man, this documentary is getting a bit heavy. I don't think it could have gone from where it was to, you know, shooting the wife in the face and then taunting the family about it without having that cop in the middle. So that was a piece of excellent storytelling, personally. But no, it's called Ruby Ridge on Netflix. It is fantastic. It's so good. I apologise that I've already told you everything that happens in it, but I feel like that's not necessarily going to ruin it, because I'd already read the story about it before I watched it, but I was still like engrossed, like, holy shit, this is nuts. Like, how did this come out of nothing? They made a mountain out of a molehill on a mountain. Hey, that was so clever. I'm so proud of myself. So it was the Champions League final yesterday, and I am absolutely delighted that Real Madrid won for multiple reasons, right? Number one, I like them. I do. No, I wanted them to win. I think it's no team had won back-to-back Champions League titles since, I think it was AC Milan, they said, like in 89 and 90. So pretty much like the year after I was born, it's the first time it's been, the title's been retained since then. Plus, the final was in Cardiff. One of my favourite players is Gareth Bale. I named my dog after Gareth Bale. If you wondered why Gareth was called Gareth, it's because of Gareth Bale. And he's from Wales. He's from Cardiff. So it was like, oh, I really wanted to win. And, it was a good game. Like, Real Madrid's midfield is just so insanely talented. Like, Toni Kroos, Luka Modric, Isco. Just how unbelievably they can control a game. Like, it's like Xavi and Iniesta when they were at Barcelona. But there's three of the bastards, right? They're just so fucking silky. Like, the range of passing that Toni Kroos has is out of this fucking world, right? Modric and Isco just, like, I can't figure out how they have such close control when they're dribbling. Because I never had that. I had a good first touch. I could kick it good. But just, they're so silky. It doesn't make any sense. But man, Gareth Bale, though, what a decision he made, right? Because when he was leaving Spurs, Real Madrid wanted to buy him. And then, it's from what I understand, Man United, like, put in a much bigger bid than Real Madrid to try and take him before he went to Madrid. So you got to choose between Man United or Real Madrid. He went to Madrid, and he's won like 3 Champions Leagues, 1 La Liga, like the Super Cup, the World Club. Basically, he's won everything. And then Man United have just basically gone to finishing 6th every year. And it's like, man, what a bullet he dodged. Man, that is insane, though. And then Ronaldo's stats, 600 career goals. Like, it was something like, he's played like 850 fucking games. That's unbelievable. That is absolutely unbelievable. 850, but 600 goals. I don't think I scored 600 goals if you include every training session I've ever done. If you include me... If you include me in training, in games, by myself, just kicking a ball at the goal, and every goal I've scored on FIFA on the PlayStation, we'll probably come in around 580. But no, what an absolute phenom. Yeah, like the stats for Ronaldo are absolutely... It is unreal. But I like him because as much as he is, like, a bit of a diva, like, it shows that he's real, you know? Like, one thing you notice is how pre-packaged everyone is that is presented to you, you know? Whenever you have, like, a movie star, TV star, athlete, so often they are just, like, made by, like, a PR team, you know? Whereas Ronaldo, Like, he's like, no, I want to fucking win, and I'm gonna win, and if I have to fall down, I will fall down. If I have to throw a tantrum because I'm not winning, I will throw a tantrum. And there's a certain beauty to that, you know? Like, I'm not a PR product. I am a fucking man. I want to be the best, and if I'm not the best, then I'm gonna go kicking and screaming. There's a beauty about that, you know? Like, yeah, it is easy to make fun of. Don't get me wrong. I enjoy that as much as the next person. But I almost respect it in a certain way because it's not like he's violent, you know? It's not like he gets upset and starts like 2-footing people or anything. Like, no, he throws a hissy fit because he wants to win so much. I think there's a certain beauty in that. Anyways, that's partly what I was like when I played, to be fair. If I got too carried away, then yeah, I would lose my mind. But because I'm not hard, I'm not going to go punch anyone. I remember once I lost my temper. Like, I saw red. It was like the third day of pre-season when I was in college. And you're not allowed to swear, you know? For the most part, if you're about to lose your temper, you can just like, fucking shit, bullshit, wanker, fuck. You get that out of your system, you know? And you feel better for it. You've screamed, you've let off some steam. All is good. But we weren't allowed to swear because this is a Christian college, right? And yelling like, Don, blast, oh gosh. That is not losing your temper. You cannot lose your temper and say any of those words. Oh, blast! This is terrible! Oh! That is not the way, you know, you share displeasure, right? So it's like 95 degrees. There's one of the kids that was playing was just away with the fairies. You know, he's not paying any attention. I lost my minigame because he wasn't paying attention. And I couldn't scream, you piece of shit, wake the fuck up. I'm going to slap your teeth down your throat. You prick, wake the fuck up. Wake up, you dick. I wasn't allowed to yell that. Which is vastly unfair. So, and I'm not going to yell, oh gosh, darn, I lost. This is unpleasant. No, and I was like, I'm seeing red. I had nowhere else to do. And I just started trying to kick like chunks out of the grass. But I didn't want to mess my shoes up. So I was scuffing it on like the bottom of my shoe rather than like kicking it toe first. And it's the middle of summer, so the grass is like, there's not like mud to kick up. It's like solid, dusty soil, basically, underneath the grass. So I'm losing my temper and just scuffing the bottom of my foot and just little bits of dust are coming up. Like, I knew at the time, like 5 seconds in, I was like, this is a bit ridiculous. But still, one of the coaches, Louis, whenever I see him, he makes fun of me. He starts miming it. He's like, oh, and just starts scuffing the bottom of his shoe on the floor. Justin does that as well. That's one of the few things he hits me with every time where he knows he cannot lose. Because I have made that kid's life hell for as long as possible, and with good reason, right? I think one of the only attacks I've had for being an immigrant was from Justin, right? And this is why I feel no remorse. So Justin, he is one of my best friends, right? Freshman year, we go to, DC? The entire freshman class goes to DC, look around all the stuff there. And one of my favorite games is you ask someone a stupid question that is so blatantly obvious that if they answer it, then they're the moron, right? Or when you give an answer, you give a blatantly, wildly wrong answer because, you know, someone is going to correct you. And it's just a stupid little game I play And there's always someone jumping in, just like, oh, you fucking dickhead, the answer is... And then all my friends that know the game laugh at them, and it's like, hey, we win. Like, for example, one of the Super Bowls, who was it? The team needed, like, I think they were 4 points behind. So I think I asked something, it was like, all of us are over the house. And it was something like, so they just need to kick a field goal and then get the extra point after it, and they win. And Justin looks at me, he gives me that side eye, just like, I'm not going for this one. Dougie looks at Justin, just like, he's going to get him. And then some kid over the back, yo, dick, no, because you don't get the extra point when you click a field goal. What a fucking dumbass. And then half the room bust out laughing at this kid who is actively mad. The foreign kid doesn't know the rules. And it's a stupid little game like that. It is ridiculous. It's juvenile. But I tell you what, it is some good fun, right? It's all fun until someone looks at you. They don't get angry. They're just like, they don't even answer. They're just like, ugh, and then walk away. And you're like, no, I'm not really a dumb... Well, I mean, it was a dumb game, but... And then you have to explain the game. They don't get it. It only works if they get a bit annoyed. Ugh, I don't know. It's a stupid game. Why do I even play this? This is awful. Anyways, we go to DC. We all go off, do different things. We meet back up in Justin's room. And he's like, Simo, hey, man, what did you do today? And I was like, it was really cool. You know, we went to the zoo. We went to this place. And then we checked out that Abraham Washington Memorial. And I remember Dougie looked at me and was like, this is going to be good. And Justin's like, what? And I was like, Abraham Washington, you know, the guy sitting on the big chair. Now, when I tell you he lost his temper, he slammed shut whatever he was reading. He goes, listen, motherfucker, you mean Abraham goddamn Lincoln? This is America. If you don't want to come here and learn some fucking culture, you can fuck off back to whatever country you come from. Dude, I have tears in my eyes. I'm crying. The whole room busts out. And it's at that point, Justin realizes, oh, shit, you were doing it, weren't you? And then he starts yelling at me, but to himself. You know, he's like, oh, God damn it. You're doing it again, ain't you? You're doing that thing where you say the stupid thing, and then I know, but I'm an idiot because I got angry about it. God damn it. Fuck's sake. All it is missing was him trying to kick chunks out of the floor. Oh, man, he lost his temper so much. Man, he got me once. He got me one time, right? And that was because he said, it's not tomato ketchup, it's just ketchup. There's no tomatoes in it. And I was like, what the hell are you talking about? It's tomato ketchup. He goes, maybe it is where you're from, but here it's just ketchup. I was like, no, it's tomato ketchup. He goes, no, there's no tomatoes in it. So, I jumped up, I Googled it, brought my laptop over to him, was like, see, look, it's tomato ketchup. And he pulled a face, and he made like a hand gesture, just like, I got you, mate. And I was like, what the... Oh, shit, this is what this feels like. I got worked up over nothing, and you were just fucking with me. It's brutal. I highly suggest trying it. You know, the only problem is, if you're around dumb people, they will just start agreeing with you because you said the thing that was wrong, but you said it with confidence. Guys, thank you for joining me. That was TennEssexee number 7. TennEssexee. I hope the chewing from my dogs didn't detract too much from the wonderful, wonderful podcast we had here today, you know? Anyways, thank you for listening. First month, I think we had close to 250 downloads, which is absolutely fantastic. When I was looking on the stats, you could see that each week there was more and more and more downloads, which is absolutely fantastic. You know, I know I make fun saying, the 3 people that listen to this, but no, it's seeming okay. So we got 250 for the first month. So for month 2, The goal is 5 million. Otherwise, I'm going to jump off a building. No, if you do like it, please tell your friends. Please share it. Please let people know. If you are listening, thank you. I truly do appreciate it. For people that have actually talked to me about it, like Dave, Tommy, Ross, your feedback. I don't want to call it feedback. No, like you talking to me and saying good job. It means a lot to me. It truly does. Thank you guys. Everyone else, if you're just joining me, hey, welcome. Thank you. If you listen to one of them and you don't listen anymore, you know what? Fuck you, buddy. Anyways, I'll catch you guys next week. Stay safe. Stay happy. You see a terrorist, fucking slap him in the goddamn mouth. That piece of shit. How about cut their cock off? You know? You want to go get your 7 virgins? Fucking do it with a nub dick, bitch. Anyways, have a good week. I'll see you guys later. Bye.